Haribol and Namaste. Salam alaikum to everyone. Week 3 is a very exciting topic because the subject is about the language of connection. Okay, so this is our 8-part series of our 8-week IG Live, which talks about closing with conviction. So today, week 3, we're going to be talking about the language of connection. Because this conversation is really what opened the doors before you even ask a person, just when you do close, okay? So, I just want you to think about, okay? What I want you to do is think about the last time someone tried to sell you something, okay? And you immediately felt uncomfortable, of course, that's very natural. Now think about the last time someone actually had a conversation with you, and by the end of that conversation, you actually wanted to have what they were offering or what they had. So what was the difference? And that is what we are talking about tonight, okay? So I would like you, while we're waiting for others to come in, I want you to start making some comment on the link below. And you tell me what you think about this, okay? So again, welcome back to the Close with Conviction. I am Sriman Japadas, and this is our week 3 of our week journey together, okay? So I would really appreciate if you drop your name, what city you're coming from, because this is very important. So I'll get more feedback, who is actually listening to my IG Live, especially right now that we're gonna go on Zoom, okay? So, whether you are a brand new network marketing person, this could be your first time, you just signed up recently, or you have been doing this for many years, okay? So tonight's lesson will actually change the way you speak forever, okay? So I would like you to stay with me, okay? So this would be, try to make it like 15 to 20 minutes, okay? And I will make this worth it your while, okay? So what is the core truth? The core truth is this, okay? Here is where most people make mistake. I see every single day in network marketing, okay? People learn the product, okay? They learn about the company. They learn their compensation plan, of course. And then they open their mouth. And immediately, the moment they start talking about all of these three, the person on the other side of the table immediately shuts down. And I'm sure you've experienced this. You've experienced this many, many times. So the question is, why? The reason is that because nobody wants to be sold. Okay? Nobody wants to be sold. But everybody, in fact, just wants to be understood. So these are very important points. So when you're closing out there, you have to understand this, that people don't want to be sold something because, at the end of the day, okay, do they have the money? They're worried, they don't want to get embarrassed and all of these things. So what I want you to write down right now, okay, I want you to write down because I'm going to, do a call to action. What I want you to write down right now is that, one, nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to be understood. Now, your job is not to sell. Your job is to understand. Let that concept land on you. And again, make comments because I need feedback. Okay? Let me break this down into a simple term. Okay? That would make it more memorable. Okay? So I want to give you a tool tonight. Okay? A simple framework that the best networkers in the world use every single day in every single conversation. And what is that tool? It is called FORM. F-O-R-M. So simple 4 letters that I want you to remember tonight. What are these 4 letters stands for? Okay, 4 letters. 4 doors. These 4 letters opens 4 doors for you. Each one opens a window into who a person really is. F stands for family. Okay, so when you're speaking to someone, immediately ask about, do they have a family? How are your kids? How are you? Are you close to your parents? you know, because people immediately light up as soon as you talk about who they love the most. They immediately light up. And when somebody lights up, they feel good. See? And they associate that feeling with you. Because at the end of the day, they end up talking first. See, you're not selling them anything. They end up telling you about their family if they're opening that door with you. So that's the letter F in the form. Okay? And that's very important because the more they open up doors to you, the more you'll get to know them and the more they'll be more comfortable with you. Okay? And the next point, the next letter is letter O. What is letter O? Letter O stands for occupation. So you need to ask about their work. The second thing. Not what do you do, but do you love what you do? That's the question, is not what you do. Do you love what you do? You know, Mr. Khalid or whoever his name, do you love what you do? Because most people do not love what they do. And this is generally most people. And when they say that, when they answer that question regarding their occupation, you're opening up another door. And you did not even push that door to open. In fact, they open it themselves. So it's a whole natural thing. And this is really, I always use this from the very beginning. This is a strategy. And it's not a strategy to cheat someone, but it's a strategy to make people open up to you because you don't want to sell to them and they don't want to be sold. Okay? So it's very important, right? So the thing is, I want to know from you, and I want you to comment yes or no. How many of you actually have used the form before? I'm not quite sure because I've not heard this from anyone. I think this would be the first time but in a case you've done, I want you to type yes, or no, it's a new comment for me, so I would know the feedback. So if yes, you know it is. If you're new to this, hearing this for the first time, I really want, I want to engage you with this. I want your reaction to this, okay? And the third letter, which is R, refers to recreation. Okay, so I want you, the third question you should be asking is you need to ask about what they do for fun. Recreation. Right? What do you do when you're not working? Rasha, Khalid, what do you do when you're not working? Right? Now, there is where people become real to you. See? People become real, right, when they stop being professional, when they stop dropping this CEO title. Even, I was once with the president of the Philippines, and I was just so formal, Mr. President, can I have a 10-minute meeting with you? All of these things. And he would not, it's like he's busy, the secretary would not even give me 10 minutes to meet with him. But when I asked the president, sir, what do you do? What do you love sports? He said, oh, I love playing golf. Immediately, as soon as he mentioned golf, sir, I play golf. Can I invite you for a golf game? He immediately gave me 4 hours of his time. We were in the car together with golf. Everything dropped. He didn't want me to call him president. Just call me, FVR, his name. Right? So it was like, I was just so amazed that it actually worked. The professionals stop being professional. They immediately become humans. Even the president, they become humans. And humans connect with humans, see? So the word we're thinking right now, this topic we have today is, how do we connect as humans? We don't need to pitch to them. We need to connect to them as humans. And you got to find those doors. So what makes a president, what makes a CEO, what makes this person human is when you find out their recreation, what they do for fun. You got the message? Because I don't want to be long on this one. So letter M, F-O-R-M. So we have, we have family, occupation, recreation, and the last one we have is the message, the money, the motivation. So this is the door you walk through the last. Okay, remember this. This is the door you walk through the last. After you have heard about their family, after you heard about their work, after you heard about their passions, now what do you ask them? What would your life look like, okay, Khalid, Russia, if things were different? Okay? And you listen. You listen. You want to hear what would their answer be? Because now they would be telling you exactly how to help them. What would make their life different? That's the last door you want to have. So this is the simple FORM I want you to have. Because this model in this section, okay, is very, very powerful. And this is something I want you to learn. Right? So this is really what will connect you to anyone you've been doing. So the wrong conversation always goes like this. Hey, I have been using this amazing product. It changed my life. This is the old speeches that you guys would be doing. Please try it. I can send you a link. Are you interested? This is the conversation most of you are using, and you're wondering why you're not closing a conversation. What is the right conversation then? I'll give you a sample. Okay? Hey, I've been thinking about you. How is your family? How are the kids doing? How is work going on? Are you still in the same role? See, these questions I'm asking right now are questions that I heard from them before. See, questions I've asked before and I simply repeat it. Right? I remember, Russia, you mentioned before you wanted more time for yourself. Has that changed at all? Actually, something came across my path recently. And I thought of you immediately. Why? Because, I remember you telling me something. Would you be open to just hearing about it? And you take a pause. Let them say. So here, same product, completely different energy. One felt pressured. One felt that you are actually caring for them. And care. You remember this. Care always wins. Now, after you have built this connection, after you have listened, after you have cared, there is one phrase I want you to use. It is not a pitch. It is not even a close. It is an invitation. Now listen this, okay? You're not pitching. You're not trying to close. So what are you doing? It's an invitation. So what is the invitation? Khalid, I thought of you. Would you be open to just taking a look? Would you just be open taking a look? That's it. 7 words. I thought of you, and I want you to write this down. I thought of you. Would you be open to just taking a look? That's all you need to say. See? Because you are not pushing. You are not pulling. You are giving them a choice. And people always say yes to a choice, but no to pressure. Okay, because this is training, and I hope you're not upset with me when I'm being very impactful in this training, in this seminar, because I really want you to learn these hooks, that there's repeats that I want you to be saying loud. That's why I want you to write it. Okay, so say it out loud right now, wherever you are. Say it loud. I don't need to hear it, but at least in your thought, you say, I thought of you. That's a very powerful thing. I thought of you. Because when you connect with people, when they say, oh, you were thinking of me, they know you're concerned. And you got to say it that you mean it. So I want you to actually, again, type comments word for word, and I want to see it. See? And I want to be able to read it and actually celebrate the comments that you're going to be giving me, because this builds massive engagement for a lot of us. It engages me, it engages you. And that's all I want to actually do for today. And I want you to make this real. I wanted to make it yours, right? Because this is really, I mean, I've experienced this, and I want to, tell you something personal that happened with me in my early journey. I was also terrified of being rejected. I'm always terrified of approaching someone because I don't like to be rejected. So every conversation I had was really just me, waiting for the right moment to pitch. I was not listening. I was loading, and people could feel it because the conversation would be going well. And then one moment when I started shifting into the business mode of selling, because that's what I came for, I could immediately see in their eyes, they're gone. They're gone. The day I stopped trying to close people and actually started trying to understand people, everything changed. Why is that? Because here's the truth, okay? The close is not a moment at the end of a conversation. The close is the entire conversation. And I'm going to repeat this. Close is not the moment of the end of a conversation. Closing, okay, is the entire conversation. So every question you ask, every time you listen, every time you make someone feel seen, is the close. That is really the close. Okay. So the close is not a moment. The close is the entire conversation. And I want to repeat that again with you because these are anchors. I'm giving you anchors to remember. And I want you to write this. The close is not a moment. Remember that. It's not a moment, right? The close is the entire conversation. It might take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but be very patient. So I want you, this week, I want you to have one conversation, okay, just one, using the form approach. And I want you to come back next week and tell me what happened. Send me a comment, send me a note, okay? Because the gem of the week, okay, is about the power of closing, okay? So I want you to slow down, quiet your energy, and let this land. This whole concept that I've given you tonight. So I want you to leave, basically I want to leave you with this thought tonight, okay? That the closing does not begin at the table. Okay, it begins the moment you choose to listen more than you speak. Remember this. Every great relationship in your life, personal or professional, was actually built on one thing. How was that? Someone felt that they were hurt. Okay. So be that person, right, who listens to people. In your business, in your team, and in every conversation you have, be that person who listens. Be the person who listens and watch, and just watch what actually opens up. Okay? And that's just what I want to live with you tonight. And again, thank you so much for being patient with me. I know this is a recording, but you would learn a lot from this. And I would see you again now we're going to be on Zoom because I don't want to go live anymore because so many bots are coming. So I'll see you again. Salam alaikum, namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to Sriman Japadas on Zoom live, but recorded this time. Thank you so much. Namaste.